Hey there! Welcome to the Songwriter's Journal. I'm Rob Edenbo, your host, your singer, and your songwriter. Welcome to my series about me developing my craft and chasing my dream of being a performer. In this episode, I plan to run down my latest updates on my gig booking, my gigging, thoughts and fears about performing my originals, and my songwriting, of course. As always, I ask you please hit the like button for this video, and if this is really your sort of thing or you just find it interesting and would like to see more, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I feel like my practicing of my repertoire is getting fairly consistent. I'm okay with my nursing home gig. None of them ever feel like I go in strong and keep it strong through the whole show, but the level to which it drops isn't so bad. For me, I'm my own worst critic, and to have gotten to this point that I can be satisfied that I've made progress and will continue to improve is a big win. As far as my public gigs, it's just been the coffee house gig, and I feel similar. The big difference is that I'm performing for fully alert and oriented people as opposed to the dementia unit. Although it should be noted that I am fully aware there are families and nurses paying attention and enjoying the show. With that in mind, I am interested in more audience interaction. And if not interaction, I'd like more stories. Banter and storytelling are skills I very much want to develop and incorporate into my performances. They're both there, but it's minimal, and I want to get better at both. Ultimately, what I need is more practice. In other words, keep gigging, get more gigs, gig more often. Which brings me to booking. First, I'm overdue to send out some cold emails to venues. I'm also overdue to reach out to the 2 or 3 places I've done one-off shows to ask about playing there again. It's funny to note, the coffee shop is my one public venue that I've gotten repeat shows at, and it's the one and only place I've done any follow-up emails with. I sent the follow-ups because they required it in order for me to get paid. Also, they sent out a blanket email blast to all their performers stating they were booking and we were to send them our availability. I responded to that email with my availability, but they didn't get back to me. I figured I'd give it a week, and 2 weeks went by. I finally sent another email inquiring about the dates. They got back to me after the second time I emailed them. They sent 8 or so dates that they were available to me to pick from. I chose like 6 of them. They didn't confirm. Another 2 weeks and I sent a follow-up email. They apologized for the delay. They confirmed 2 of the dates, saying they were all that they had left, but would let me know if they had any cancellations. Lesson learned, be persistent and don't wait so long. Nonetheless, win. It should be noted that the coffee house gig pays $60, well below the $100 a man standard that was established 50 years ago. A working musician couldn't live off $100 a night, gigging even 4 or 5 nights a week. So one might accuse me of undercutting the market. I'm fully aware that I'm fortunate to be getting paying gigs at all this early in my career. And I had to bust butt to get them too. You know what they say. The harder you work, the luckier you get. True that. I want to touch on my repertoire. One of the insecurities I suffer is that I rely too heavily on oldies from obscure genres like folk and bluegrass. What can I say? I'm a folk and bluegrass guy. In today's world, that's called Americana. It's a thing, and it's popular. It's just not top 40 popular. My working goal has been to learn the most popular songs for a solo acoustic guy to cover, the general business tunes. The songs that'll get me the most bang for my buck, so to speak. Because it takes me several weeks to research, learn, and memorize a new cover song. Huge time investment in something that is not even mine, but the cover songs bring attention to my originals, and the cover songs help me better learn my craft by studying how other songwriters do it. So I've pivoted from learning songs I love to learning songs that everyone loves, because audiences, they know them, and that's what they want to hear. That's what the venues want. Some examples would be Closing Time, Wonderwall, Just the Way You Are, Peaceful Easy Feelings, Dreams, I Will Follow You Into the Dark, and Tom Petty's Wildflowers. That one I feel gets a lot of bang for the buck because Tom Petty is huge right now, and that one is huge in the Americana world. Trampled by Turtles made it really popular, and the Wailing Jennies have done it. A number of people have covered it. My next goal in the cover song repertoire is to start learning the most popular Americana songs. Some examples might be Old Number 7, Son of a Bitch, Give Me a Drink, Whiskey, Take My Mind, The Luckiest Man, Cover Me Up. Well, Cover Me Up, that one crosses into general business tune territory, so that's another big bang for the buck. You get the idea. One more quick update. I've reached out to a producer to ask about recording an album. No timeline yet, but the process has begun. I hate to be another musician going on about new music coming, but I'd be remiss if I didn't share my journey. If I fail and it doesn't happen, I'll share that too, and why. Remember, I promise to share my successes and my failures. I hope I've been holding up to that. I also wanted to share some of how I get insecure about sharing my originals in a live setting. Open mics have been easier in general, because that's what they're for. But venues where people are buying drinks and expecting entertainment, it's just different. Songs about myth and fantasy, like the Death of a Vampire thing I did for this video series, they appeal to a niche audience and to my tribe. Not necessarily the general audience that are the venues people. Also, remember the one I did down in Chincoteague? We Lost America, my grumpy old man complaining about how the world is changing. That one is open to interpretation and to politics. I tried to introduce it once. I did a crap job. I was improvising my words. I should have rehearsed what I was going to say. I had one friend of mine walk out. He may have just been ready to leave. He was there with a lady. But in my head, I blamed myself. So the original for this episode, it's a tribute to veterans. I listened to several hours of interviews with vets, some still serving, others retired, some living with life-changing physical injuries, some living with life-changing mental illnesses, such as PTSD. The story and the details were based entirely on those stories I listened to. The song focuses on PTSD and the support systems the U.S. military now provides for their soldiers. I feel like it's a song of healing and hope. It's called See the Warrior Again. The title refers to how a soldier looks at him or herself and what they take pride in and their self-esteem and what makes them human. All right, See the Warrior Again. For Corporal couldn't be here when his son was born. Was deployed in the sandbox, shot at in Humvee with canvas doors. 135 degrees before the firefight. The smell of oil permeates the air, but it's the smell of burning flesh. It's haunting his nightmares when another broken hero came home. Surrounded by the demons of hell that he's been through, but protected by the angel that guards his human heart. When he looks in the mirror and can't see himself, he only has to talk to his brotherhood friends, and he can see the warrior again. After 39 hours of labor, she gave birth. Her mother and mother-in-law held each of her hands and they prayed with her. Named him after the dead he may never know. After 3 lonely days in a hospital, she broke down in tears when she went out to the car. Her Marine held open the door. A broken-hearted hero made it home. Surrounded by the demons of hell that he's been through, but protected by the angel that guards his human heart. When he looks in the mirror and can't see himself, he only has to talk to his brotherhood friends. He can see the warrior again. He only has to talk to his brotherhood friends. They're still there, they'll always back him up. He can see the warrior, take pride in himself, and be the warrior again. He takes pride in himself. He's a warrior again. So, I did that one out once already at an open mic. It was Veterans Day when I did it. I have 2 cover songs that kind of spoke to the theme, and I did my original. And sure enough, one of my musician friends who's a vet was present. And I was super insecure about singing it in front of him because I wrote it. Like it would feel different if someone else had written it or it was a cover. He didn't comment, but from what I've learned about him from those I've talked to who know him best, he never talks about his service. I wrote the song 2 or 3 weeks ago. I've been practicing it and revising it, so it's not the fresh, raw material I usually try to share. It took too long for me to get to making this video, but I always say that. The one thing I wanted to point out, too, when I do this song, there's kind of a neat little thing I'm doing with the progression. It's not just 1, 4, 5. I guess it's in the verses, yeah. And there's only 2 verses to it, and then there's a chorus, and then the ending, whatever that would be called. It's kind of like a chorus, but with different words. I actually walk down from the 5 chord to the 4 chord, and then I do minor, 3 chord, and then a major 2 chord, and then I'm back to the 1. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It doesn't occur a whole lot in songs, but it's kind of neat when it does, and just thought I'd kind of point that out. I'm not sure why I did it. At the time, I was kind of searching for a melody, honestly, trying to flesh out the melody and figure out how to match the guitar with the voice, and just trying different things. And it was just one of the many things I tried, and it's what stuck. So anyway, remember to like this video, and if you watch this whole thing, you'd probably like more of it. So go on, hit subscribe to my channel. Love and peace, y'all.